Hello. The other article that you could read for today, so you have the choice, is Prehistoric Times, a Stone Age Family. There was no written language 50,000 years ago. What did a family from the Stone Age look like? Did it look anything like the Flintstones? Some scientists study the Stone Age. Old bones help them answer this question. Carbon dating helps them. They find out how much carbon is in the bones. Plants get carbon from the atmosphere, which helps them to grow. Humans eat the plants and get the carbon in their bodies and bones. When people die, their bodies stop taking in carbon, and the carbon slowly leaves their bones over time. By measuring how much carbon is left in bones, scientists can tell how old they are. Cave paintings also help scientists find facts about Stone Age families. Finding the Nutcracker Man. One journey begins with Homo habilis. The Leakey family were English scientists living in Africa. They found the skeleton of the Nutcracker Man in 1959 in Tanzania. It had a giant skull. The bones were almost 2 million years old. Its face was wide and had big cheekbones. The teeth were 4 times bigger than our teeth. Nutcracker also had hands that began to look like ours. Nutcracker was a hairy fellow that was bent over when he walked. His brain was large, but he was not smart. Cave dwellers. Next on our journey are the Neanderthals. They lived from 30,000 to 100,000 years ago in Europe. Their brains were large too, but they were not much smarter than Nutcracker. Neanderthals did some things modern humans do. For example, they cared for their sick people. Scientists found the bones of a very sick man. He lived to be 40 years old. He should have died sooner, but people must have fed him and taken care of him. Neanderthals also buried their dead. The dead were buried with tools, weapons, and food. Maybe they believed that there was life after death. They may have thought there were gods too. They lived in caves, and their clothing was made of animal skins. Fire warmed them and cooked their food. They may have even played music. An 80,000-year-old bone was found. It could be made to play the notes. Do, re, mi, fa. Neanderthals disappeared around 30,000 to 35,000 years ago. Man with wisdom. Now we meet the Cro-Magnons. They were Homo sapiens, which means man with wisdom. We are Homo sapiens. Cro-Magnons lived mostly in France and Spain 15,000 years ago. They drew cave paintings. Some showed bulls raising their heads or buffalo charging hunters. There were herds of reindeer escaping and fish swimming in rivers. From these paintings, we know that hunting was important. People dressed in animal skins and antlers to sneak up on animals. Groups of hunters worked together to capture many animals. Cro-Magnon people looked a little like you and me. They lived on Earth for thousands of years, but about 10,500 years ago, these people disappeared. A little more modern. People living in Africa began farming in the beginning of the Middle Stone Age. This was a new way of life. The New Stone Age was about 10,000 years ago. People learned to make better tools and weapons, built villages, and raised animals for food and work. They were beginning to live like modern people. Jarmo in Iraq was one of the oldest villages. It is in the Middle East. About 200 lived there 8,750 years ago. Katal Hayuk is in Turkey. It had 3,000 people living there 8,000 years ago. Slowly but surely, they changed into modern human beings.